I cannot believe my eyes. This game looks so beautiful and immaculate that I just can't even believe what I'm looking at. I have to say, Vision of Mana is doing some incredible work. I love every single part of this trailer that dropped for the launch trailer, for showing us everything we need to know to love this game. I mean, I was already going in loving the game and I was going to buy it regardless, but now it moved into my most anticipated game of the final part of the year, and oh my God, not just the visuals alone, but the set pieces in the world just look so incredibly lush and beautiful, and looks fun to just move around. They feel alive. Every little part of it just seems like they put so much care and detail into the worlds that you can run around. I hope that, I'm sure there's going to be barriers and places that you're not able to go, but I'm hoping the world is a little bit more bigger than what we're seeing, so we can actually enjoy the world that they built, from not even just the characters alone in the world, but just the enemy types looks even more immaculate than the world itself. They look like they had so much time and fun crafting the enemies to look so cute and cool and crafty and luscious and vicious and all these other words that I'm trying to think of on the fly, and it just looks so cool. And just the characters themselves looks even more unique and fine detailed enough where it doesn't seem distracting, but very unique in their own individual way. There's so much goodness about this trailer that I don't even know where to start. So I'm gonna start on the one part that really captured me the most, is the combat. The combat in this game looks so fun and freeing. Freeing is the most important part of this whole entire conversation, because the moment when you start getting combat and getting your characters, you look like you're just able to do whatever. You're able to just fight in the air, fight on the ground, use elemental attacks, chain it up together. You just don't want your enemy to breathe ever again. And I don't know if you'll be able to switch between your party members in the fly of the moment, where you'll able to attack with Val and then switch to other characters in your party on the fly and do other chain attacks. And when I start to look at the combat more, it kind of feels like Rebirth. It's almost like they took a little bit of a page from Rebirth and added it to this game, and it shows that they are understanding what people want in an RPG, and it's just freedom. The opportunity to do so much different kinds of things in the game that it just feels like you could do whatever you want. And the main character, Val, he looks so fun and freeing. He looks like your typical fun, energetic main character who just wants to have a good time. He almost kind of feels like Cloud, how Cloud was able to be the tool of everything. He could do magic, he could do fighting, he could do air combat, and it seems like they're taking that same approach from Rebirth to this game. I'm sorry to keep comparing Rebirth to this, but that's the feeling I'm getting for this game, and it is beautiful to see. And just adding in the elemental spirit transformations that gives off magical girl vibes, and I love it. It gives you different types of classes when you jump into the different elementals. From being a knight and a mage, you get to use different spirits and other types of stuff, and the fact that you can use those elemental spirits in their own movesets and other types of things you could do, which is insane that this game has so much unique movesets. It's almost like you don't even know what to use. You can just use whatever. Now, it's hard to say from the footage if you'll be able to switch on and off on the fly, where you'll be in base form and you'll be able to fight, and then you get to switch into the elemental, and it's quick and fast, and then you get to use elemental skills and then switch to another class and then use their elemental moves, and then switch to another party member and use their elemental moves, because you are able to have up to 3 different people in your party for your team, But not only that, there's backup characters, supporting characters that you can have in your party where you can use their abilities, but they have their own separate stuff, but they level up with you. And it's just, this game is insane, man. This game is insane. And again, I'm sorry to compare it, but it gives me Rebirth vibes. And I love Rebirth. Rebirth is my favorite game of all time now. And the fact that they're using some of the same elements from that game to this game, it just shows that Square Enix is still the kings when it comes to JRPGs and understanding their players, that it is fun when you're able to do a lot of things and have control and options on what you want to do within the game. Now, the story of Vision of Mana is also very fun and interesting, and they did a whole breakdown of the story and elements of the game. Tiana, the Fire Village, everyone is preparing for the coming for the fairy and the naming of the Every 4 years, alms from around the world are chosen to travel to the Tree of Mana and rejuvenate the flow of mana power by offering their souls. A soul guard accompanies the chosen alms to ensure their safe pilgrimage. On the day of the fairy's arrival, Val, a new soul guard, brings his childhood friend Hina to the festival. As the sun falls beneath the skyline, all the spectators wait with bated breath, hoping to be chosen as the The fairy finally descends before Hina, appointing her as the of fire. The villagers bid them both farewell, praying for their success as they embark on the adventure of a life. And I'm sure along the way she's going to get feelings where she doesn't want to do it, and I'm loving the direction of the story. The cutscenes look fun. You can actually feel the emotions and feels between the characters, and also you get other introductions to new characters like Helmina, who I am probably going to be using mostly on my team, not just because of the Queen of Thighs, but because I really love her moveset. She has this like chain whip mace that I really love because of this blue haired girl behind me. So I really love that weapon type. So she's probably going to be a mainstay on the team. I'm going to try to switch it on up every so often just so I don't get stale with the combat. But when it comes to the most gameplay, she will definitely be one of the main people I use. Palamina is a young queen of Linastana, capital of the deep. After the death of her father, she succeeded the throne. Since then, Palamina has been navigating her way through Ilistana's social expeditions and turbulent politics, while also carrying Aline, her younger brother. Julie is a sperling from the adventurous Bruroth. He is a current Casadine in charge of watering his sleeping companions. Julie has been whiling away the hours with the same old chores every day, but his encounter with Val and the team brings an unexpected change in his life. He feels like he was just made to water and take care of everyone else, but after meeting other people, he decides that he wants more out of life than just being a water boy, essentially. And of course you get Morley, which you don't really get a lot about his character or understanding. All he says that he is a legend swordsman, which, you know, every character in this game so far they've shown has some unique and interesting stories and potential and movesets that I am looking forward to playing this game. Like, you got Corina, who is like this feathering dragon and has a interesting magic wand defense, which will be more used for long range and support buffs, while Val will be pretty much offensive and defense melee. And then you have Morley, who specializes in close range battle with swords as well, and then Palamina, who specializes in powerful long range magic attacks. And also, I think the fact that you can change up their movesets with the elemental magics will help them not become stale within the battle. And I just love that idea. I think the only negative thing I can have about this game is mostly about the collector's edition, because there will be a collector's edition for the game and it'll be $200, which I wouldn't have a problem with if the game came with a figure along with the collector's edition. But the only things you normally get with the collector's edition is a Ramu plushie, which is a dragon within the game that you can have mounts in the game. I forgot to say, you have mounts in the game where you get to use for sky and water travel, but I think you can also dive underwater and do water combat with certain elemental skills. It doesn't really make it clear how you're going to do it, but regardless, it's going to be interesting. And then you get a Visions of Mana art book, and then the soundtrack and the collector edition special box, which again, for $200, I don't think that's a worth price for a collector edition like that, especially when there's not a figure or a diorama or something inside that would make up the cost. I would see that this would be more of like $150 maybe of a pricing point, but that is also still a big asking price. However, you know, you still have the standard game, which is $60, which is a great deal. Also, you have the deluxe digital edition, which is $80, and you get to play that 24 hours earlier than August 28th if you pre-order it digitally, if you care for the digital bonuses. But you get all kinds of other stuff like a Final Fantasy Adventure sumo outfit, a Secret of Mana Pool outfit, and a bunch of other bonuses. I'm assuming you get all this stuff with the collector edition as well. It would only make sense, but it does seem like they do want to try to push for digital sales as well, so you have a lot of options to go with. But in the end, Visions of Mana looks incredible. I cannot wait to explore the world of this new Mana game with all the beautiful set pieces, how beautiful the characters look, and just how unique they look, and just the movesets alone. I'm so looking forward to playing the game and the combat and experiencing the combat, because it's going to be a fun, freeing time. As I said for the last time, it feels like Rebirth, because in Rebirth you feel so free when you're fighting. And I just went back as a little test like footage for something else, and man, I forgot how fun that game is, that it just captivated me and just enjoying everything. And I feels like this is going to have the same type of effect and feel, that even the boss battles seems like it's going to have your unique ways to defeat them, and I am looking forward to playing this game. But let me know how you guys feel on Visions of Mana. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to break down a lot of things of my personal thoughts, things about the game itself, and just some of the characters that's going to be in the game, and just my overall feels of the game. But let me know how you guys feel about the game. Let me know down in the comments down below, and I would like to see how you guys feel for other JRPGs. Like, if you have other JRPGs that you would like to play for the summer and you would like to know what's coming up, click on this video right here to see what's coming up next. And I will see you guys in the next video next time. Deuces.
Seems like the life I feel. Seems like the life I feel is a little distant, yeah. Seems like the life I need. Seems like the life I need is a little distant, yeah. Like the river.